Happy Friday! Welcome back to VHS Reanimated. Glad you dropped by. As you know, I'm here every week to recommend a classic horror movie that I feel like doesn't really get enough attention. This week I wanted to talk about Christmas Evil. It is, Christmas month after all, December month, and if you're gonna be inside, avoiding the snow and the outdoors, watching horror movies, why not watch a Christmas movie? And this is one that I feel like doesn't get enough love and attention. It's a creepy, weird movie. Christmas Evil, 1980 Santa movie, where Santa's a killer, as far as I know. This is one of the first ones. Maybe there's more, I don't know. Silent Night, Deadly Night's also great, but Christmas Evil, it's not really a slasher. A lot of reviews kind of talk about it as the taxi driver of Christmas movies, which is the most simple way to say it, and it really is. This movie is about a guy that is so obsessed with Christmas and wants Christmas to be what a child thinks Christmas is, and as he gets older, he sees how terrible everybody else is around him, and it drives him a little bit nuts.
Film over there. It's not specific about how many toys the company's donating.
That's right, boy, here. That campaign is his first contribution to the company.
Are there enough toys for all the children in the hospital?
I don't have the slightest idea how many children are in that hospital, Harry.
Let's back this up real quick. So this movie begins with two brothers, watching Santa Claus come down the chimney and lay out some presents. Like, obviously, it's just their dad. It's like a real feel-good moment. They run up to the stairs and Santa, looks at them and they're like, oh, yay, Santa's here. And then one of the brothers says to the older brother, that's not really Santa, that's just Dad. And the guy's like, no, that's Santa, man. That's freaking Santa. Santa! So he creeps back down to go take another look. And as he's creeping down to take another look, his mom and his dad, who's dressed up as Santa, are making out and doing a bunch of stuff to each other that Santa Claus and his mom shouldn't be doing. And it pretty much breaks him as a child. Right away, he's completely ruined on this idea of what is real, what is not, what is Santa, what is wholesome and innocent, and what is completely perverted and weird. So right away, I love that it puts this little, breadcrumb in his psyche of, okay, here's his childhood trauma that he's gonna be, unable to cope with as an adult. Then we jump forward 40 years or something. He's this older dude sleeping in a Santa Claus costume. His entire apartment is decked out in Santa crap. Obsessed. He works at a toy factory because he, wants to be giving kids presents and stuff. And there's just these little things that happen that start to eat away at him. His other co-workers at the toy factory don't give a crap about Christmas or making quality toys. It's just a job to them, and that just bugs him. One of his co-workers spins some yarn and says hey man, can you cover my shift this weekend? I gotta be with my family for this Christmas deal. And he's like, of course, family's the most important thing. So he works late and does a double shift, and on his way home he just happens to stop in a bar and finds his co-worker there just being totally lit, partying, and realizes that he just got lied to, and this guy just wanted the whole day off, and it's ugh. And then he goes home and he has this big book of bad girls and boys, which is friggin' awesome, and he's just looking out the window, monitoring the neighborhood and keeping track of all the crap the kids on the street are getting up to and making a list. It's so weird, but not really a horror movie yet. This is just someone that is losing grip on reality.
Susie! Hi, kids! Susie, you look so beautiful.
Hey, Harry, what'd you wish for today?
I wished I was super magic.
I wished I was principal so I could throw whoever I wanted out of school. And I wish I was a firefighter, dive bomber, and think of projects. Boom!
Great, great!
I wish I had a lifetime subscription to Penthouse magazine.
Most Garcia.
Few more, you know, back and forth with like people questioning his love for Santa and Christmas and all that stuff. He starts to just unravel. A lot like Taxi Driver. It's just like one thing after another leads him to eventually break into the toy factory that he works and smashing all the toys because he thinks they're not good enough quality, breaking into people's houses and stealing their toys because he doesn't think they deserve it. There's one kid across the street that he has a real problem with, and he leaves him a big bag of dirt with his name on it under the tree. Like, that is just friggin' hilarious. And it eventually gets to the like more horror movie-ish stuff where he's like killing people, and none of them are like, I can actually cancel that. Yeah, I was gonna say none of them are like serial killer, like I'm gonna look for this guy. He just gets into these like scuffles and ends up killing someone, but he does actually kill that guy that made him cover his shift for no reason. He breaks into that guy's house in the middle of the night and kills him.
All right. Merry Christmas, Frank.
My favorite part in Christmas Evil has to be when he's like stalking the little kid across the street. He's making a list of this kid's friggin' rotten. And one of my favorite things is just misbehaving kids. Like, I think it's so funny in every movie, just a total brat. I think because I wasn't a brat as a kid, but I always think it's really funny when someone misbehaves. So he's like stalking this kid, taking note of everything this kid does that's rotten, and he's kind of gets caught at one moment where he's leaning up against the house trying to look inside, see what the kid's up to, and then the family exits the house unexpectedly and he has to hide in the bushes. And then there's this moment where the kid kind of sees him out of the corner of his eye, and the kid's like, what's in the bushes over there? And he like is creeping up closer and closer to go see what's in the bushes. The kid's mom is like, get in the car, you little brat, get in the car. She's freaking out, like, get in the car. So there's like back and forth tension of this kid being told to get in the car, but the kid feels like, hey, there's something in those friggin' bushes. I'm gonna go get closer and closer and closer and closer. And he keeps getting closer and closer, and then he finally like, he sees this friggin' guy dressed as Santa Claus. He freaks out, and just as he turns around to go tell his mom is like, I told you to get in the car! And she just wails him, just slaps him so hard. And whatever, I think that is hilarious.
Moss? There's something in the bushes! It's a monster! It tried to grab me!
Look, I have had all I'm going to take from you.
There's something horrible in there! Ow!
Now you get in the car! Go on.
Best death. Best death, or my favorite kill in this film, Christmas Evil, is the first kill that Santa does, where he's coming home from giving all these kids presents at the orphanage, like he's saving the day. He feels the most Santa of all, and he stops outside a church, and all these people start harassing him, and for whatever reason, he just loses it. Like, this guy's asking him the wrong questions, like trying to tug on his beard, and like they're a little bit drunk. It's Christmas Eve. And he just pulls this toy soldier out of nowhere, jabs it in his eye. Everyone's freaking out, and then he grabs this like toy axe. I don't even know what the hell it is, but it's like a little hatchet, but it's painted in a really fun, childly way. I have no idea why this would be a present, why this would be nearby. But he pulls out this hatchet and just butchers like 4 people on the steps of this church. And this is the point when he goes from a little bit unbalanced and weird to homicidal maniac. Like, this is his turn. And Wow, what a friggin' cool scene. Tad bit sucks. This movie is not a crazy gore-fest slasher horror movie, which I normally like to talk about. This one's a lot slower and methodical, but that's not a problem. I really like that. But I do feel like there was more opportunity to see this guy messing with more kids. Like, I love that he has a little rivalry with the kid across the street and is always, you know, keeping track of him, like looking at porno and talking back to his mom and watching too much TV. And then later on, he like breaks into that kid's house, steals all his presents, and leaves him a bag of dirt. Like, that is friggin' awesome. But he only did that to the one kid. And he has this big book of bad boys and girls. I think that, little miss of the mark. Like, what if we had a little montage of him going down the street and he has like a bunch of kids like that he's keeping track of and breaking their toys and stealing them and bringing them to the orphanage or bringing them to other kids that he feels like deserves it. Like, just one more layer of this guy really embracing the Santa Claus, really embracing the gimmick, as they say, and living the Santa life. But he only really does it one time. And then after that, it's like going back to the factory, messing with his co-workers. The kids really stay out of it. I guess until the end. He's about to get killed in an alley and all these kids come running in to save him because they think it's the real Santa. Like, that's cool. But that scene, even that scene would have been stronger if maybe 20 to 30 minutes earlier in the movie he was, you know, aggressive to other kids. Like, because this whole deal is like, there's not enough innocence and people are too mean to each other, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to keep a list of good and bad. So it would have been, in my opinion, cooler if he was a little bit more strict on the bad kids and took away more presents, left more bags of dirt, see some more funny scenes like that. And then in the end, when the kids all save him, then it would be a little bit more of a like, yeah, he's kind of an idiot. He's, you know, taking it too seriously. And then on the other side, like, he's kind of right. Like, the kids are just so innocent in this. And this is a movie about someone that saw his mom getting felt up and groped by Santa Claus, and it just broke him at a young age. So I guess he never matured past the childhood innocence. I don't know. It's a really complex movie. I friggin' think it's great. But I would love to see more bags of dirt.
These children know things that obviously you don't understand anymore. They love me.
Move away from them.
They want someone to notice who's good or bad.
I said get away from them or I'll rip your guts out.
No! No, Daddy!
Go. Get her off of me.
Don't hurt Angelina!
Okay, let's wrap this little Christmas guy up. Let's wrap this little present up. Christmas Evil, 1980, taxi driver of Christmas movies, cannot be more accurate. The acting is phenomenal. This guy loses it when he's watching the parade and his brother is on the other line telling him to come over to Thanksgiving dinner, and he just is ignoring him. He's just staring at the screen, going louder and louder. Like, this guy's a friggin' psychopath, and we see it incrementally build as the movie goes on. We see him go from happy-go-lucky, jumps out of bed in his Christmas costume every day, to his workers treating him like garbage, his boss treats him like garbage. He gets promoted and you think that's a good thing, and then that just, you know, he gets to sit at the table while all his bosses talk about how much they're taking advantage of charities and workers, and the toy quality is like slowly getting worse every time, but that's more profit for them. And we just see this like incremental process of him losing it. And then he loses it on the church steps, hatchets a bunch of people, goes and gets revenge against, you know, his colleague that made him come to work for no reason. Car chase. The lineup scene where they know that Santa hacked all these people to death on the church steps, so they have like this, you know, the cops are investigating and they rope in all the Santa Clauses in the city for a lineup. Like, that's just funny. Like, they all look the exact friggin' same. Well, at the same time, his costume is covered in dirt and blood and he's living in an alley. Like, this is a really cool movie. I can't recommend Christmas Evil enough. It's December. Let's watch some weird Christmas horror movies together. I'm going to get another one of these videos out this month. Hopefully 2 more this month. Couple more recommendations for you. Until then, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, leave some comments. Have you seen this movie? What is your favorite part? Your least favorite part? Best death? Is there anyone in your family you would leave a bag of dirt for? I love it. I'll see you guys next time back here at VHS Reanimated. And until then, please remember to rewind or die.